this morning I was lying in bed trying to get myself up and going, and I had this image of me being like a sword swallower. I had like 5 swords in my mouth, my throat. And I knew that was a message to me that I need to use my voice more. So I thought, okay, I'll start doing videos again. And so I meditated on what would be a good message to share today. And the conversation that I had with a friend yesterday came to mind. And that conversation was about taking care of our health and our diet in particular, and how that creates physical challenges in our life. And, for me, I had severe allergies. Like, I felt like the back of my throat and tongue were swelled, and I couldn't talk very well. I have a hard time talking anyway. And this went on for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And I took a bunch of different allergy medications, nothing helped. And so I dealt with it. I didn't know what to do. I threw my hands up in the air. And during this time, I had a mole on my back, and I wanted to go get it checked out, just to make sure there was nothing wrong with it. And so I went to my primary care physician. It was an HMO. So I had to get a referral to a dermatologist. But my doctor said, there's nothing wrong with your mole. Your mole is fine. But did you know you had a rash on your back? I had no idea. And she took a picture of it, and it was a light pink rash all over my entire back. It didn't bother me. I didn't know it was there. I had no idea how long it was there. But she gave me something to put on it, a cream, and it didn't work, and I just kind of dismissed it. Like, it's not bothering me. So about 1 year later, I went to the doctor again because I was so concerned about that mole. And at this point, I had a different doctor, and she said, your mole is fine, because you have a rash on your back. Yeah, I've heard that before. And I just told her it didn't bother me, it's no big deal. But I wanted a referral to a dermatologist because, although I appreciate your opinion, I want a skin doctor to look at my rash or my mole. And so she was kind enough to give me a referral to a dermatologist. And so I had that appointment, and he said, your mole is fine, because you have a rash on your back. It was starting to sound like a broken record. Like, yes, I know. And he told me it was a type of fungal infection. And he gave me this bright orange shampoo to apply to it. I thought, okay, I'll try it. And so about a week later, I don't believe in coincidences, but about a week later, I get out of the shower, and I see a big, bright red, dark red rash on the inner part of my thigh. And this is a very different rash than on my back. The one on my back was light pink, and it spanned my entire back. And so I emailed the dermatologist and said, my friend, Ashley, who was a nurse, looked at it and said she thought it was probably a ringworm. Now, I wasn't familiar with ringworm. It was odd that I would have it, but I emailed the doctor and I said, I think I have ringworm on my leg. Will the shampoo help it? And he said, yes. And so I'm putting this shampoo on my leg, and within a matter of 2 or 3 days, I ended up going from 1 rash to over 20 on my legs, and I had a couple on my arms and my chest. And so I ended up emailing pictures to the dermatologist and said that the shampoo isn't working, what's going on? And he looked at the pictures like, well, it's not ringworm. It looks like ringworm, but it's a different type of rash. And it was another type of fungal infection. So he gave me the name of it, and I'm feverishly trying to figure out what's going on because these rashes were painful. I would wear jeans. I remember one time I was at a Bible study, and one of the girls needed a ride home. So I took her home, and meanwhile my legs, or my jeans, were rubbing up against my leg. And it was causing like this rug burn. And I'm driving, and I'm squirming, too embarrassed to say what was going on. I don't know why I was so embarrassed, but I didn't tell her what was going on, so all she saw was me squirming around. I'm pretty sure she thought I was doing the potty dance. But I was feverishly looking to figure out what was going on with these rashes and what caused them. And I realized that it was probably sugar. Like everything I looked at, the only thing that was like the common denominator was consuming massive amounts of sugar, which I did. So I emailed the doctor and it said, I think it might be sugar. Do you think that's realistic? And he said, well, Western medicine is deficient. We don't get to the root of the problem. We only treat symptoms. But I've had patients in the past that have had similar issues who cut back on their sugar, and it alleviated their symptoms. I knew at that moment the days of eating whatever I wanted were over. I could no longer eat a whole jar of honey in a city just because I wanted something sweet. I can no longer have half a jar of caramel ice cream topping on my Greek yogurt. I just had to stop. I had to change my diet. And I cut out sugar like that, and I never went back. And the point of my story here is a couple of things. One, it got rid of the rashes. Within about 3 weeks, my rashes went away, and it alleviated my allergies. My allergies went away. So sugar caused my allergy issues. Who knew? So one point is, if you have weird things going on with the body, maybe look at your diet. And the other thing is, I realized that I consumed so much sugar because I had emotional unmet needs. I felt a deep sense of not being enough, not being good enough, not being smart enough, not being pretty enough, not being loud enough. So many enoughs. I felt unworthy. And instead of addressing and recognizing my unmet emotional needs and addressing them, I consumed sugar. It gave me comfort. It filled my emotional cup, subconsciously at least, and somewhat consciously. But I didn't realize the connection, the full connection there. Had I really understood that connection, I obviously would have addressed it ahead of time and wouldn't have had all of those issues. Now, I honestly still have dietary restrictions. I developed leaky gut, and it's been a long time since that happened. That was 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. And I still have health issues because of it. And so I would encourage you, if you have a not so great diet, maybe start going inward and trying to figure out, why am I eating so much sugar? Why am I drinking so much alcohol? Why am I overindulging in whatever it is? And address your underlying needs. And that will help you nurture your health in all ways. And nurturing your health is an act of self-love. And we all deserve that. And we're all inherently worthy of love from other people and loving ourselves. We only get one body in this lifetime. We need to nurture it. It's worth it. And you're worth it. That's what I have for you today. Until next time, many blessings.